That's the boss's office.
Well,
you ever notice that?
depends on who he's talking to.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Betty?
Yeah.
Listen, this week on That's Incredible, Fran Tarkenton interviews Steve Kalsberg.
Who?
Steve Kalsberg, a Harvard sophomore who set a new world's record by staying awake for more than 9 days straight.
Have mercy.
Yeah, the judges shortly thereafter amended the rules to say that you could not try for the world's record as Kalsberg had with a live scorpion down your shorts.
Young on a Thursday morning. Rain in the forecast. Yesterday, Bob, was really, well, it was uncomfortably hot, and, you know, everybody goes, well, it's not the heat, it's the humidity. And so I called Bushfield, the Weather Bureau out there, and I said, what is it, the heat or the humidity? They said, it's neither one. It's the people who go around saying, it's not the heat, it's the humidity.
Well, at least we don't have to pull out our Bob Smith wind chill factor chart.
Well, I saw George Eliot on Channel 6 last night.
You did?
Wonder how a guy with a name that common has got an accent so uncommon. So, I thought his name was Jose Curvo or something.
Well, you know, Jay Hyde works over there on the weekends.
Yeah.
I called him last night. I asked Jay, I said, what nationality is George Eliot? He told me George came from Hepzibah.
Is that right? That is a Hepzibah accent, now that you mention it. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Betty? Boy, wasn't it hot yesterday?
Yeah, we were talking
Tell
about
you,
that.
it was humid, all right?
Sure.
Well, it was really hot out in the West Coast, out in Los Angeles, out in there.
Hot out there, huh?
Yeah, real hot.
Yeah, you said that.
I mean, hot, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hot.
Yeah, how hot was it on the West
Well, it was
Coast?
so hot out in L.A. yesterday, I understand that the famous atheist Madeline Murray O'Hare volunteered to be baptized in Pat Boone's swimming pool. That's good. He's been singing around the house.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I tell you what, I want to say the boy's got a bad voice, but yesterday he was walking around the house singing, and the old lady's canary threw himself at the cat.
Well, I haven't because I'm not rich enough, but it's up in Mayor McIntyre's neighborhood. It's Perrier and Water, Bob.
Perrier and Water.
Oh, yeah, you heard about that one? Oh, I understand that John Hall may be a little late this morning.
Why is John going to be late?
Well, he turned his hose on a motorcycle cop yesterday, and he might not be here. Last thing he remembers was giving the cop a specimen in his holster. Hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
buddy. You remember a while ago?
Yeah.
I was showing you how to light charcoal without all that mince.
Yeah, you threw the bag in with
Well, you know what I did?
Yeah, you threw the bag in with a paper on it.
Right.
And then you squirted lighter fluid on it.
Right.
And then you put a match in and blew yourself up.
Right. Okay, well, I figured out what I did wrong.
Well, what was that?
You know, you pour the charcoal in, you don't put it in with the bag on it.
Oh, is
That's
that-
what caused it to blow up.
Oh, it did, huh?
Well, I ain't got no hair, no eyebrows, but I'm all right.
Okay, great.
So anyway, you empty the charcoal briquettes out in the grill like I've done here, and then you squirt this here lighter fluid on it. And you cover it pretty good.
Yeah.
And you just throw a match on it like this.
Happened again, didn't it? Buddy Carr and Bob Young in the morning on a Tuesday. I was looking at my TV guide here, Bob. I see that one of your favorite programs here, Dallas, this week.
What happens on Dallas this
Well,
week?
on Dallas, little John Ross Jr., which is J.R.'s son,
Right.
his pet rat gets sick, and J.R. shows heart by giving the rat a blood transfusion. Hold on there. Hello.
It's old J.R. Ewing here.
Uh-oh.
You do that one more time, boy, I'm going to ruin you.
You must know the judge down in support court to make a threat like that.
Well, he doesn't have to, Bob. He's got enough money he can buy his own judge. So
Tell me about it.
I mean, anything he wants. Also, here, let me see, this weekend on ABC's Wide World of Sports, due to the absence of figure skating, this weekend only on, you've seen Superstars, of course.
I've seen that.
They'll have celebrity elevator racing.
Well, don't use the ones at the municipal building. They're the slowest ones in the country.
You must have never been on the one at Doctor's Hospital.
No, I haven't.
You can wait for a haircut and get one while you're waiting for it to come up and grow out again. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Buddy? Hear about all that unrest up in the Middle East? They blew up the American embassy in Beirut.
Yeah, in Lebanon, they're having some trouble.
Yeah, I'm keeping up with that. So Scooter, he ought to, too.
Yeah, really, you
You ought to
should.
know what's going on around you. Scooter's pretty dumb about the Middle East.
Oh, he is, huh?
Yeah, he thinks Arafat is Arabian cellulite.
Probably thinks the Gaza Strip is a dance, right?
What's that?
I said he probably thinks the Gaza Strip's a dance, right?
You mean it ain't a dance?
Didn't like that one, huh?
Well, have you heard from Honey Alford this morning?
Unfortunately, I heard from her just a couple of minutes ago, Bob. She left me cold on the air.
Well, she will warm the cockles of your heart.
Yeah. Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, I tell you what. How many times have you wanted to dry your hair in a hurry but didn't have a hair dryer?
Oh, lots of times.
Well, you don't have to go out and buy an expensive hair dryer now because Uncle Bob's Consumer Tips will teach you how to dry your hair right away without using an expensive hair dryer.
How are you going to do that?
Scooter's going to help me out. You ready, Scoot?
Yeah.
Ready, Grandpa. What you do is you just reverse the hose on your vacuum cleaner to a blowing position.
Oh, yeah. Just switch
And you
around.
turn the burner on the stove like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just turn the vacuum cleaner on and blow the heat right on his head like this.
What happened?
Well, I'll be doggone.
What is it?
I forgot to change the vacuum cleaner hose over to the blow side, and it sucked his hair right across the burner.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tune in later on when Uncle Bob's Consumer Tips will show you how to put on and wear a wig correctly.
And hygiene, but, I mean, she does it every... Why is she always doing that? Can you imagine?
Because she gets paid for it.
Well, they'd have to pay me a ton to do it. See, I went to a Hollywood party one time, and
Went to a Hollywood party.
yeah, and it's not as wild as everybody says. In fact, the high point of the evening was watching James Garner and Michael Landon take pictures of each other. So, don't believe all that rumor stuff you hear.
I don't believe any of it.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Buddy, how's it going?
Going all right. What's happening?
I was just trying to talk to Scooter here. His girlfriend's on one of their celebrity TV Hollywood diets, you know?
A Hollywood diet?
Yeah, his girlfriend's a little overweight, and this Hollywood celebrity diet guarantees to make you look like a movie star.
Oh, yeah?
Right.
Mm.
Trouble is, she didn't read the fine print on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how excited I am about Scooter going out with a chick that looks like Ernest Borgnine.
Car 4 has a winner, and I thought just for the heck of it, I'd hold her off on announcing it. Hopefully, maybe she'll have an anxiety attack and won't make it. What's going on, Bob Young?
Well, that car is probably bouncing around on the shoulder of the road right now. She is so excited about to hyperventilate.
Yeah, she's already fogged up the inside, just in sheer anticipation, Bob. She's, I don't know, I think they could probably save the station a lot of money in gas. A go-kart would do her just fine. She'd be just as happy. Anything going on today that we...
Well, it's just too bad she had to work yesterday, because it would have been great to have her along on a little trip down to the islands. Wouldn't have needed an airplane.
Sailed, and you're going to glide it with her.
That's for sure.
I was riding along yesterday afternoon, and I heard her on Dick Shannon's show, and I went, lo and behold, this morning she's on my show.
What did we do to deserve this?
Well, they say, you know what they say, he who laughs last is usually the dumbest.
Maybe the boss is trying to get even, get some revenge.
I think he's already done that on April Fool's Day, Bob. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Buddy?
Mm-hmm.
Heard car 4 there a minute ago. Made your day, I'll bet.
Absolutely, yeah.
Look here, I got a killer joke for you.
Killer joke.
You can say, okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Car 4 is to radio.
Car 4 is the radio.
Yeah. What a flat tire is to a wheelchair.
Bob Young. And, boy, it's on the fan about the National Enquirer. Everybody's down on him. Edward Van Halen and Valerie Bertinelli, who was his wife, that used to be on, One Day at a Time or something like that?
Right.
Says they had them screaming at each other in a restaurant where they'd never even been before. And she also goes on to say that it's an absolute lie that you cannot hear her tapping her foot in the background when Eddie's playing guitar on Beat It for Michael Jackson. I got a National Enquirer here this morning, Bob.
Is there some good news in it?
No. There's some unbelievable things in it. This ought to be on That's Incredible. A man claims when he was in service, he stole an entire golf course and mailed it home a hole at a time. Really?
I believe it.
Well, it's in the Enquirer. You wanted to know, right? I want to know where they get these things. That's what I wanted to know.
They found that one in Henry Kissinger's trash can, I think.
Right. Hello.
You're just using the wrong approach, boy.
Hey.
Buddy,
Yeah.
what's going on?
I don't know what's happening there.
Hey, let me tell you. This girl moved in a couple of doors down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's a real knockout, and of course Scooter puts the move on her.
Did he?
Yeah, but she's a real sharp cookie, boy. She put him in his place.
What happened?
Well, Scooter ain't the most tactful boy in the world.
So you
He went
thought-
up to this chick and said, "Hey, baby, I'd like to get to know you better."
Mhm.
She said, "Okay, you can do my laundry."
I would Buddy Carr and Bob Young in the morning. I'm just another invisible panty line in the underalls of life.
Well, we have a nomination for next Monday's telecast of That's Incredible.
What is that, Bob?
Well, would you believe this? Channel 6 actually had a report on from Brian Ellis,
Yeah.
in which it did not show him walking across the camera and waving one of his arms in the air.
Really? That is unusual.
That's incredible.
Well, you know, I've been kind of depressed with Channel 6 ever since poor Freddie Forecast was replaced by George Elliott. If it weren't for beer commercials, we'd have no culture on TV at all.
There's no question that George Elliott is the only human alive who could replace Freddie Forecaster.
Well, I don't know. I
don't think there's any debate over that.
He's sillier than Freddie, I think. Poor guy. I'm sorry about that. You know, George admits that he's burning the candle at both ends. Now he's wondering where he's going to get more wax. Hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
Buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Uncle Bob, boy, with Uncle Bob's tips for blind dates.
Blind date tips, huh?
Well, I got several here.
Okay.
Let me do this right quick.
Sure.
One of them, if they say she's big bone with a good personality,
Yeah.
she's probably Miss Piggy's understudy.
Right.
Or Charlie Fox's twin.
Okay.
All right, on a blind date,
Mm-hmm.
if her folks try to make you leave your glasses at the door, get out quick.
How about you?
I ain't feeling too hot this morning, boy. I ate at a restaurant last night. I had some really lousy food.
Bad food, huh?
Yeah,
Bad, huh?
bad food. I mean, this restaurant, bad food.
Well, how bad was it?
Well, the food there was so bad, all of their food was served on a shingle.
The courthouse plunderer is about to leave.
Speaking of the courthouse, I was down there and ran into a couple of your attorneys.
Is that all? Just a couple of them?
Well, they were not having the convention yesterday.
Oh,
That's not till next weekend. Yeah, but they needed to hear from you.
They want me to contact them?
Yes.
Uh-oh, I know what it is.
They want you to get in touch with them.
I'm in trouble. That's what it is.
You're in trouble.
Yeah, my ex-wife's attorney called me and said she needed more money, and I told him to tell her to find a part-time job. Good, but
Well, as long as you do it in Richmond County, you've got immunity.
well, that's exactly right, Bob. Because the sheriff, I tell you what, I wish the.
Did you clear that with the sheriff? I'm sure you did,
Yeah, I said,
because
look,
the sheriff did give you that blank check.
I said, JB, if they send some extradition papers down here, I said, can I ignore them? He said,
If you want to, well, yeah, frankly, you can do whatever you want to.
so
I think the sheriff will live to regret ever having made that statement to you.
Probably so. By the way, Bob, there's a thing coming up. Well, That's Incredible Monday night.
What's on?
Cameras go inside a supermarket and find that not one woman's magazine has an article on herpes in it.
That's almost as exciting as finding one unwrapped head of lettuce in the supermarket. One unwrapped head of lettuce. Have you ever seen lettuce unwrapped in a supermarket? They spend millions of dollars. There's one person in the back of the store. He wraps lettuce all day.
I thought I had a dull job. Hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Heard you talking about that thing that's incredible about the herpes on the magazine.
Yeah.
Well, the new National Enquirer's out, and I kind of like a headline on it.
Oh, what's it say?
Yeah, it's big, bold, black letters on the front of the National Enquirer. It said, "Herpes, God's way of saying find another hobby."
You've gone several rounds with Harley Drew.
Well, now, Bob, we shouldn't discuss intercompany friction.
I was underwhelmed when I first heard it.
Were you underwhelmed?
I was underwhelmed.
You'll be even more so. Good. Hello. Yeah.
Heard you talking about Mark Summers going to be emceeing that Saturday night North Augusta amateur boxing match.
Yeah, ring announcer.
Well, he's going to be the ring announcer, ain't he?
Yeah.
Did I tell you about my boxing experience in the Navy?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I was on an aircraft carrier, and there was a guy on there named Killer Kowalski.
Oh, wow.
He'd whipped everybody on the ship but me. I said, hey, I ain't scared of that big jerk. I'll take him on. So I put on the gloves and jumped into the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And right out of the chute, boy, he knocked me down.
Down into first, right?
But I recovered. I I was up by 8.
The count of 8, that's good.
No, not the count of 8. I was up by 8 o'clock. He knocked me down about 3 that afternoon.
All right, good morning, and Bob Young. And by the way, you live over in the West Augusta area around Jay Hyde. There is a dull alert in Jay's neighborhood right now. By the way, Bob, I understand that Jay is going to be on, Channel 6 doing TV news starting, the 26th?
Well, that's what I understand. He's going to be doing weekend news.
Mm-hmm. And, Jay is qualified. You know, before he came to work here in radio news, Jay used to work at an all-cartoon station. I don't know what Howard Cosell would think about him.
It was disgusting.
Yeah.
It was disgraceful.
Well, no fans there.
Well, from one talking head to another.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's going to be funny watching him and Joyce Oscar on there.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad that Jim Davis left. It would be funny to make a comparison between Jay, who just won a Wally Cox lookalike contest, and Jim Davis, who won a Mr. Potato Head lookalike contest. By the way, I'll read my calendar of events here, Bob. It's on this date in history. I know you're interested in this.
All right, tell me.
In 1247, the year that Lord Farley the Odd invented the first chiffon armor. Did you know?
How sweet of him to do that.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you know you're always doing them there Charlie Fox fat jokes.
That I am.
Well, I got a good one for you.
A good fat joke.
Yeah, you can put this on. Fox gets hot about them fat jokes, don't he?
Boy, does he ever.
Well, listen, you wait till he's listening
Mhm.
and say this.
Okay.
So I won't say Charlie Fox is fat,
Mm-hmm.
but,
How fat is it?
well, he's so fat tonight on That's Incredible,
Mm.
Charlie Fox eats a case of soup for one.
Don't forget, on the 26th of this month, Jay Hyde will be making his debut on Channel 6 Weekend News.
Good. I'll find an excuse to be out of town.
Well, it'll be right after Chris Naylor comes on with Did You Know, Bob?
Did I know what?
Did you know that Jay Hyde once won a Wally Cox lookalike contest?
Just once?
And did you know that he's still wearing the same shirt that Darryl Hickman used to wear? Did you know?
I did not know that. Now I know.
Well, I see that Jay is practicing already. I just heard him back in the production room back there saying, here's a montage of no mediocrity for the metro area. I think he's Bill Shawley's shop. You know, Jay's not the most exciting guy in the world.
No, he's not.
Tell you what, he was in school, he was asked the capital of Kansas.
And what did he reply?
He said K. Well, that's what he said. Hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
buddy.
Mhm.
Well, you never guess what.
You're pregnant?
Well, guess.
You're pregnant, right?
No, I'm serious.
Okay, what?
Scooter's into art now.
You're kidding. Into
Yeah, he's really into that art stuff.
How heavy is he?
Yesterday he came home, he said he had bought an authentic copy of The Last Supper.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I didn't have the heart to tell him, but I noticed they were all wearing Timexes.
Close already, man. Thanks to G.W. Payne of the South Carolina State Trooper.
G.W. Payne.
What an appropriate name, Payne. You get my drift. He used to be,
You know his cousin.
who's that?
In the neck.
Yeah. No, I can't say that. He used to be in TV, though, Bob.
Trooper Payne?
Yeah, he used to be in TV. You might remember, if you think back carefully now, you're about my age, he used to clean spittoons on Gunsmoke.
I vaguely remember that.
You remember that? He's the type of guy that would take a girl, drop her off at a photo mat and say, hey, I'll pick you up when you're developed. The reason I was in Carolina anyway, I had a big party over at Charlie Fox's last night. Everything was great until Dick Shannon got his face hung in the pool filter over there. After that, it was kind of downhill for me the rest of the
Oh, mercy.
Hello. Uh-oh. Hey.
Hello?
Yeah.
Buddy?
What?
Excuse me, boy, I got this old hog or bloody flux or whatever it is.
The grip, huh?
Yeah, the flu, I think.
Yeah, a lot of people got that.
Yeah, everybody's got it.
Mm-hmm.
My next door neighbor, Sylvester,
Uh-huh.
and his secretary are in bed with it.
Really?
Yeah, I just hope her husband and his wife don't find out.
Oh, Joseph.
I know. What's happening?
Yeah, I can tell it's not going to be a very good St. Patty's Day.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Already something went wrong.
Something went wrong?
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, I was eating some Lucky Charms this morning.
Mhm.
You know, that's that cereal with that little leprechaun running around all over the place.
Yeah.
I was eating me a big old bowl of Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
And not only did I find a Lucky Charm in there, Well, I found a hair in my Lucky Charm.
A hair in your...
Lord, I about lost my breakfast now. Well, one good thing, buddy.
One good thing?
It was a green hair.
Really?
I'm with Buddy Carr and Bob Young in the morning, and
It's not gold in the South this morning.
it's cold in the South.
It's cold and it's snowing. Got snow in Marietta, Atlanta, Athens.
Yeah.
All of it to the north of us, though.
Well,
No
Bob-
snow here.
You know how I do my famous impressions? And, no, wait now. This is serious.
I think you've got an impression.
Well, I'd like to do my impression of Atlanta Mayor Andrew Young coming outside and seeing the snow this morning.
Oh, well, this should be interesting.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
well, here we go. Here we go.
He sees the snow.
How was that, Bob?
Well, there's no doubt about it. It is snowing in the mayor's city this morning.
Well, who cares about that? How was the impression is what I
Well, it was pretty good, too.
That's what I want to know. Oh, did you see Real People the other night? They're really scraping bottom on that, and that's incredible. On Real People, they interviewed a man who's somewhat disgruntled with the American justice system. He says he was locked up for something he didn't do, Bob.
Locked up for something he did not do.
Yeah, he didn't wipe his fingerprints off the safe.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I better go back to impression. She liked it. That's all that matters. Hello.
Hello, Betty.
Yeah.
Look here, when's the weather gonna fair up, boy?
Probably a couple of days. Why?
Well, I hate weather like this. I like it when it's nice and pleasant temperature. I get out and play 36 holes every day when it's like this.
Oh, you're a golfer, huh?
No, I'm not a golfer. I'm taking harmonica lessons.
Back in the ball.
A bad boy. He deserves what he gets. Buddy Carr and Bob Young in the morning here on a Monday, and
We are right here, both of us together.
was that really on the level a while ago about that that new doll? It's you wind it up and or pull the pacifier out of his mouth. It says "Kill Mommy."
That's correct.
That's sick. Who would market something like
Called
that?
Baby Darling.
Well, I sure would hate to see Baby Sweetsome.
That's on the level. It's a doll that's turning up out there for Christmas.
There's some sick people in this world. I think that speaks for itself there, Bob. By the way, a lot of people in town for the holiday season, and here's some tips for tourists that John Hall wrote up here.
Well, go ahead.
It says, don't patronize a bar that has a parking space that says reserved for ambulance. Or, here's one. If you see a man carrying a sign that says the world is coming to an end, don't be nervous. It's just a U.S. auto dealer. Hello.
Hey, hello, buddy.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Great.
Steamboat Johnson.
The bow, yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Did I
happening?
ever tell you about the time Willie got a divorce?
I don't think so.
Yeah. He been divorced a good while now.
Yeah.
That's why we keeps the kid every now and then.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, it happened like this.
Okay.
One day, Willie come home and he lost his house key, right? Yeah, and he was climbing in the window, see?
Mhm.
And the police come up and they said, hey, what's going on, see? They
Yeah.
thought he was breaking and entering, see?
Naturally, yeah.
And he said, this is my house. Come on in, I'll show you. So they climbed in the window with him. They got in there and they said, this is the living room. Here's where I sit, watch TV.
Mhm.
That's right, see? The police, they believe that. He said, come on in the dining room. They went in the dining room, said, there's my wife's china right there, in the case there, see?
Mhm.
Yeah. So then he walked back down the hall, said, there's my shaving mug and razor right there.
In the bathroom.
Yeah. And they walked in the bedroom, there's a man and lady in there.
Uh-oh.
And the police said, my wife. And Willie said, well, come on in here in the kitchen, let's make some coffee. And the police, they looked at Willie and said, what about the man in the bedroom? He said, heck with him, let him make his own coffee.
Well, that's where you're a dummy.
Hey.
Buddy,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Who are you talking to?
I was just sitting here talking to Sue.
Yeah, what's he done?
Well, he started seeing this great new girl.
Another
But
one?
she's kind of a health nut.
Hilt nut.
You know, health food nut.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's always taking iron pills.
Mm-hmm.
She's a great date, but Scooter says she keeps facing north.
Facing north? What do you...
You know, like a magnet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Of course, those Scooters kind of got a personality like most fine watches say on them.
Fine watches?
Yeah, anti-magnetic.
Hold your Bush beer by the Queen from A Night at the Opera. End of the year, Jay, you know, you get the Christmas cards around Christmas from all the stars and, you know, on
Right.
rock and roll and all, thanking you for playing their records and making my year a great one. Hope yours is great and you know, all that stuff. But they send me messages and call me and, yeah, what?
Hi there. This is Lloyd Bridges thanking you for watching my reruns every week.
See what I'm talking about, Jay? I tell you what, it's rough around here. You like that one, did you? Jay liked that one.
Hi, I'm Peter.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Mary.
Yeah.
We want to thank you for playing our record.
Sure, get out of here. Did you see? That's what I'm talking about. They personalized my stuff, and it's been going on for years, Jay. Jay can't recover from that one. What?
Hi, this is Sonny.
Oh, yeah?
And this here, I want to thank you for playing all them records.
Yeah. You're welcome. Boy. What?
Oh, you're going to have to read the news now.
This is Alvin of the Chipmunks saying thanks for playing my records.
Don't mention it. Hey, how you like that, Jay? What?
Hi, I'm the Mormon Tabernacle Choir.
Oh, sure.
Thanks for all the spin.
Calendar of events for us.
How
Big
coincidental.
events.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, it was on this date that the gold skyrocketed
Mm-hmm.
to over $800 an ounce.
I remember that.
Yeah, making Sammy Davis's right hand alone worth twice the price of Taiwan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And let me see what else here.
What else?
First attempt failed at trying to cross the Atlantic Ocean in a rowboat in 1949.
That failed, huh?
Yeah, in 1926, my uncle tried unsuccessfully to cross the Pacific Ocean in a Studebaker.
Have a long morning sidekick, Bob Young. Let me ask you, friends, very honestly, would you buy a used car from this man?
Come on, Bob, it's getting late. Where is the news?
I don't think he would. Bob's trying to get rid of his junker out there. It's going to be rough selling that car with the front end and the rear end of it all.
It's going to be a lot rougher selling it the way you are talking about it.
Well, Bob, you know, we've sold some successfully for Car 1, you know, when he was getting rid of the used cars and everything.
Right.
But let me see, how did that memo go he sent over to the general manager? Tell Buddy Carr to shut the hell up. That's what, yeah. I remember that well, but I tell you what,
Garner, I'm not.
well, yesterday the general manager said we could turn it upside down and make a planter out of it. And he said that poison ivy wouldn't go in there. You're going to give me a bird dog fee if I unload that junker for you, huh?
I might just do that.
Well, if you're out there and you're listening to the Buddy Carr show here this morning and you're Bob's insurance agent, Bob's thinking about selling the truck as is and pocketing that insurance money. Bob, isn't that fraud? What is that, huh? Wait a minute. Bob is running to the restroom now. Huh? Hold it. Hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
Buddy.
Mhm.
See that's incredible last night?
No, thank heavens.
You didn't, huh?
No.
Neither did I. Missed it. I watched that new special Muppets thing.
Muppets thing?
Yeah, on the Muppets, Miss Piggy got a hickey on her hot.
I'll have to watch that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a preview of what's on it?
Dr. Michael DeVinky performed surgery on the Pillsbury Doughboy, giving him a triple bun bypass. Very delicate operation. And also on this very auspicious occasion, that's incredible, Bob. Elmo Jawlocker, Elmo Jawlocker,
Know him well.
a volunteer for the local Los Angeles Red Cross, tries to become the first man in history to give himself artificial respiration using only a pair of wax lips and a gas station air hose.
Those wax lips will do it every time.
Haven't used that in a while, but might get the craze going again.
That's better than pulling the kazoo out.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
Buddy.
What?
Look, I got some big news for you, boy.
Big news?
Well, this was a top secret, and I couldn't tell you about it before now, but we just got the results of a major survey that we've been conducting here in Augusta.
A survey?
Yeah, and I'm real pleased to say that the Buddy Carr Show is heard on more radios in Augusta.
More radios.
It's heard on more radios in Augusta than any other home appliance.
Drake, yeah, it's 7:25 with Buddy Carr and Bob Young here. We just had a winner in the Q card contest.
We did?
Yeah, sure did. Virginia Walker of Aiken, South Carolina, called in with the correct number and won that $20 in cash. Just read my horoscope here, Bob. I read this every day. It says here, romance will spring into your life today. If she can open a six-pack of beer with her toes, marry her. How about that? Oh, by the way,
horoscope undoubtedly.
yeah. By the way, we always do cheap jokes about the boss. Now, I'd like to get serious about him and congratulate him. He just graduated from his LaSalle Institute Home Correspondent Sales Clerk course, Bob.
I didn't even realize he was taking that.
Oh, yeah, honor student on that. In lesson 1, he learned how to shortchange kids and immigrants. Did you? It's been raining out there this morning. It's tied down.
Matter of fact, excuse me.
What?
Had some real low pressure here this morning, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the barometric barometric pressure, I can't even say, got down to 29.56 inches. That's low pressure.
What does that mean, Bob? Hey, what I look like, Bob Smith or something? I don't know anything about that. Hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
honey.
Yeah.
Look here, what was that last cue card number?
You have to listen to your radio for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, what time is it?
7:25. Don't you listen to your radio?
Yeah, I listened to it.
Well, why don't you pay attention?
Well, never mind then.
Okay. What's that mean?
Look, don't give me all that. Call with a very important tip for people out there.
Oh, a consumer
Hey,
tip?
this is a tip from the American Medical Association.
Let's have it.
Says never trust a plastic surgeon who carries a briefcase that looks like someone you know.
She's really into the music thing. In fact, she would have been pretty big in music herself if her monkey hadn't died. But after that, she went to work as a pallbearer at the dead letter office down at the post office. She's doing okay now. Hello.
Oh, Betty.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Going okay.
Look here, you'll never guess what.
You're pregnant?
Well, Scooter's got a date tonight with an English teacher.
You're kidding.
That's right.
An English
teacher.
That's unusual.
And he wanted me to ask you a question.
What's that?
Well, which is correct? May I or can I?
Bob Seger, Silver Bullet Man, the distance selfie. 7:55 with Billy Carr and Charlene Price is in for Bob Young this morning. Charlene was supposed to be on a special assignment this week to try to verify that not only Jane Russell, but most full-figured women sleep on their back. By the way, tonight on That's Incredible, Fran Tarkenton interviews a guy who is a subscriber to HBO who hasn't seen Star Wars this month. And also a rare interview with a guy who went to a supermarket and got a shopping cart that didn't have a locked wheel on it. I'd like to see that myself. Hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Look here, I'm always talking about my neighbors Sylvester and Sylvia.
Yeah, the ones that fight.
Yeah, well, they don't ever get along too good, but
Yeah.
let me tell you something. Listen to this.
What?
Sylvia's sister's down here.
Her sister, huh?
Yeah, what a killer, boy.
Oh, really?
You know how hung up I am on Dolly Parton?
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Well, Dolly can't hold a candle to this chick.
You're kidding.
Oh, boy, she's stacked.
Stacked, huh?
Hey, she's stacked now.
Stacked?
Ask me if she's stacked.
Hey, how stacked is she?
Hey, let me tell you, she's so stacked,
Mm-hmm.
her T-shirt has white calf.
Well, I'm with Buddy Carr and Bob Young in the morning here on a Thursday, better known as the Winds of Bull. Bob, what's happening? Is the mayor installed a sprinkler system in his house, or is he just going to run in and turn on the shower if it should catch on fire?
One in the yard, I think.
Well, what's the matter with the county commissioner? Are they asleep or what? I mean, they don't, no waves at all. Frank Albert is gone, and that was it.
Well, I ran into a few of them yesterday.
Did you? Were you driving and them walking, or what?
No, we were all sitting. Also ran into Harold Tiller.
Did you?
A name from the past.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wish I still had the old drop-off in telling me how many work hours
You're
there
going to
were.
be glad that you don't.
Why, would Harold sue me or something?
You never know.
Well, you have to get in line here, Bob. No big deal. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello, buddy.
Yeah.
Look here, ain't been much on the cable this month.
Everything's bad on
It's
TV.
been a little slack.
Mm-hmm. What's
Stayed
happening?
up last night and watched CBS late night.
Oh, yeah? What was wrong?
Yeah, they had a rerun of the Waldens on there.
Oh, good.
It's a pretty good one, too.
Was it?
Well, there's a couple of things in this plot. In order to help out during a monetary crisis, Grandma Walden enters a wet T-shirt contest.
You're kidding.
And John Boy receives his own full-length mirror in his bedroom to discover that his name is now John Mann.
Truly. Lionel Richie. Well, Lionel Richie. Bob, you're doing that, aren't you? Scare me. I thought I was hearing Inside Out here this morning. By the way, tonight on Nightline on ABC, Ted Koppel interviews a guy who has a haircut like his.
We're going to move that to next Monday night for That's Incredible.
Ted, did you see that last night? Was it?
I saw it. A fellow swallowed a microphone.
Was it a Mr. Microphone?
I don't know. He didn't say to
Hey, good stomach.
Kathy Lee Crosby, hey, good looking. I'll be back in a minute to pick you up.
Hey, good stomach.
Let me get this microphone out of my mouth.
Hey, good stomach. I'll be down to pump you out in a minute. Tell you what, I watched Nightline last night. It was on the Middle East, and Ted Koppel actually admitted that he thought Yitzhak Rabin was what you shout if a Lithuanian dog attacked your leg. So somebody swallowed a microphone on That's Incredible, huh?
That's right. Let's see what else happened on that last night.
Too bad they didn't swallow the camera they shoot it with.
It was not one of the more memorable programs.
Well, when have they had one of
Oh,
those?
they'll have one of those next week.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
What's going to be happening then?
Next week we'll see a hot tub that Charlie Fox can get in and out of all by himself, unassisted.
That's not a hot tub, Bob. That's a marine land pool. Hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
Benny.
Yeah.
Did you see That's Incredible last night?
No, I didn't see
I
it.
tell you what, it was really incredible. Fran Tarkenton interviewed a guy who had the oldest typewriter in the world.
The oldest typewriter, huh?
Yep, it was the oldest typewriter in the world.
How'd they know it was the oldest in the world?
Well, the reason he knew that, it typed in pencil.
Yeah, I think they're probably holdovers from the old Top 10 dance party days, back when Charles Shepard used to promote the Dairy Queen in Thompson.
Ate a lot of hamburgers.
Yeah,
Well, listen, I've got a little something here. I've done some research this week, and I understand you were telling us about the Gracie Awards Monday.
Yeah.
Well, I understand you did not tell the rest of the story.
Wait, this is probably some rumorous smut.
No, I understand that at one point you were bringing a tray of hors d'oeuvres to your table.
Yeah.
And you dropped them.
Yeah.
You dropped a complete
I had a
whole tray of hors d'oeuvres all over the floor.
I had a legitimate excuse, Bob.
A legitimate excuse?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I was drunk.
Well, I was trying to be polite, but...
that's not the reason. The reason is I was sitting at the table with Donna, you know, who spilled the Coke on you at the fair, so
Right,
I had to spill something.
But you dropped this tray of hors d'oeuvres on the floor.
Well, I was rowdy. I asked the sheriff, I said, hey, you got to turn this whole table over, and J.B. Dyke said...
If you want to,
see?
frankly, you can do whatever you want to.
Sure, see?
Well, you had that recording of the sheriff, but I had a tape recorder.
Wait a
at
minute.
the Gracie Awards.
No, come on,
To
Bob.
get an actual recording.
Of what?
An actual recording of you dropping the tray of hors d'oeuvres.
You're not going to play that.
I am going to do it right now.
That's it, all right.
Oh, wow!
And,
But then to take it one step further.
yeah. What?
Wait a minute, let that last cracker come off the tray there.
It's going to take a while.
There you go. But then to add insult to injury,
Yeah.
you got down onto the floor,
Yeah.
picked up the hors d'oeuvres, put them back on the tray, and tried to serve them.
That's the reason nobody'd eat those darn things.
That could explain it.
No,
But,
well, thanks for...
but your conduct at the Gracie Awards deserves more scrutiny. I'll put it that way.
Well, coming from you, I consider that a compliment, as dull as that place was. Hello.
Hello,
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah.
Mark Bob, listen, boy, I'd like to do something I see them do on TV all the time.
What's that?
Hey, all them comparison taste tests and stuff.
Taste test comparison.
Well, I got Scooter here, and he's ready to help me out in it. I tell you what, Scooter, take a drink of this brandy.
Brandy, huh?
Drink it on down. How's that?
Oh, that's pretty good.
Okay, now try some of this brandy. Uh-oh. Scooter. Hey, Scooter. Hey, Scooter. Well, there it is, friends. Proof positive that brand X contains poison.
For that,
I don't know whether the Crisco Kid will be involved in that or not.
Oh, Crisco! Harley Drew's going to be on there tonight. He's captain of the Olympic yawning team. Yeah. And Steve York will be on there also. He just recently voted the captain of the Olympic javelin catching team.
Well, Charlie Fox will be on there too.
What's he doing?
He's in training for the Olympic
hot tub floating team.
What'd you do this weekend, Bob? Did you have an uneventful weekend, or?
Well, it was it was uneventful until I.
What?
What was that? Uh-oh. It was uneventful until I was driving back from Columbia, South Carolina, when I ran into First Sergeant Bill Harvey of the South Carolina Highway Patrol.
You ran into him, Bob?
Well, not literally.
It just so happens that I saw Billy McTeer of the Georgia State Patrol down in Burke County.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he was at a parking lot at a filling station. I wasn't doing anything. What, were you speeding, Bob?
Well, I'll never tell. I will not.
I'll
admit
tell.
my
He was
guilt.
speeding. Well, Bob, you're a pilot.
Throw myself on the mercy of the court.
Well,
I should have flown to Columbia.
Yeah, you should have. Wait a minute, you were flying. That's the reason you got stopped to start with. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Heard you and Bob talking about State Patrol there a minute ago. Why is it that every time something's said about the State Patrol, it's only bad? You never say anything good about them. It's like teenagers and soldiers.
Yeah, well, we didn't...
Nothing's good's ever said about them. It's always something bad.
We didn't say anything bad.
Let me tell you something that happened to me with the State Patrol one time.
Okay.
I'm tired of hearing y'all doing this.
Okay, go
One
ahead.
time I was out on this lonely road and my car ran hot.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped and raised the hood only to discover that my fan belt was broken.
Mm-hmm.
About that time, a carload of state troopers pulled alongside
Yeah.
and shot me.
I'm glad that boy didn't ask him for his jersey.
Yeah, I tell you what, it
Might
was
have strangled him with it or something.
it was getting rough for the guys, you know, I guess financially. In fact, whoever thought Steve Bartkowski of the Atlanta Falcons would hold a Tupperware party. But we have a new feature here on the Buddy Carr Show this morning.
What is your new feature this
Well,
morning?
since the football strike's over, we've been holding on to this while. It's football scoreboard, Bob. You ready for that?
All right.
Here it goes.
And now, football scoreboard. Yes, Football Scoreboard, the program that takes you to all the stadiums, big and small, across the length and breadth of this great country of ours, for a look at the results, big plays, and key players who make the gridiron sport what it is today. Football Scoreboard, the program that pulls no punches in getting the scores and results to you, the fan, first. And now, with your Football Scoreboard for this time, your Football Scoreboard man himself, with all of today's results for now, Ernie Selwitz.
Hi there, sports fans. It's time to call 'em as we see 'em. There are no scores today on account of it's not Saturday.
You've been listening to Ernie Selwitz and the Football Scoreboard. A look at all of today's gridiron action up to the moment in the USA. Bartley Hope speaking for the entire staff of Football Scoreboard.
Line on which it's called truly. 7:25 with Buddy Carr and Bob Young here.
And TV Extra.
TV Extra is the big thing today. They've got a thing on...
Our guest star every Friday.
Kim Skeen and Rick Sykes are in this week. You know, Rick is 41 years old. He doesn't look that old.
No, he doesn't. He's got a grandson, too, doesn't he?
Yeah, and 3 daughters, 12 to 22. Wonder, what about Kim Skeen? How old is she? She's not 41, I know.
Well, she looks a lot younger than she really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's 82.
Really? I'll be dogged. It says that what caught Jim Davis's eye when he was the news director over there was a thing she did at WTOC TV in Channel 11, I think it is.
What did she do? What did she do?
It was a series on prostitution and the effects of neon burn. And one particular documentary she did on a midget prostitute called I Sold Myself Short. And let me see.
Kim was responsible for that.
Yeah, Rick Sykes first landed his first professional job at KFQD Radio in Anchorage, Alaska.
Well, that's easy for you to say.
That's a long way up there. I don't like it. You know, it gets cold enough here for me. I don't think I want to move to Alaska, though. Anchorage, though. I guess you want to be an anchor man right then. Hello.
Thought I heard you talking about Rick Sykes over at Channel 6. You say he worked in Alaska.
Anchorage, Alaska, yeah.
Boy, let me tell you, it gets cold. You think it gets cold here?
Yeah. I know.
You ought to be up there.
I'll bet.
Hey, got them huskies and dog sleds on? By the way, do you know why a husky is one of the fastest dogs in the world?
I have no idea. Why is that?
Well, because it's so far between trees up there in Alaska.
Every weekend, poor Steve York, Bob, he had to work on Thanksgiving Day, and he said that his parents were giving thanks that he wasn't there to eat with them. Steve's, he had a rough life. You know, his parents didn't used to set when they'd set the table, they wouldn't give him a placemat. They'd give him a Delta Airlines brochure and a travel guide. Poor Steve, you know, he was unwanted even as a baby. His mother used to short sheet his crib. Of course, he hasn't been here long. You know, he was a cop down at the Augusta Police Department for a while.
I didn't know that. He has a law enforcement background.
Oh, yeah, but Sergeant C.T. Hammock of the Augusta Police Department fired him when he caught Steve in the locker room frisking himself one day. What'd you do over the weekend? Oh, did you see Dallas Friday night?
I sure did.
I thought that was great.
I sure did. That program's getting ugly. Everyone's turning on Jr.
Oh, I know. Well, I thought the humanitarian side of it was when Jr.'s little son's pet rat had a rare blood disease, and Jr. offered to give him a transfusion. Bob is going out on the 767 maiden flight this morning. It's a new plane that they've come up with. In fact, we're in touch with your pilot right now, Bob.
Oh, no.
Oh, by the way, a little trivia here. Somebody called me up and wanted to know who the balding gentleman who smoked the cigar, wanted to know who he was. Said, he said, look, this is a stupid question, but I'd like to know who it is that rides around with that dog that drives the news car. He said, wait a minute now, hold on.
No, the dog doesn't drive the news car.
Oh.
The balding man drives the news car.
Well, you know, 6 of one, half dozen the other. I get a little confused on this. But anyway, That is Carr 1, and Carr 1 had the idea to get a news hound long before he got Checker. In fact, well, let me see how he got that.
Yeah, I got the idea when I was in the Army in World War II in Italy.
Yeah, he got the idea over there, Bob.
He did some flying, too, didn't he?
Yeah, you know, he got the idea from the Pope when he was down in Sicily trying to quell the mafia shootings down there. But he got it. Carr 1 got the idea one day when he was making some ragu or something. But he had a dog when he was an air ace in the Army. And
he was an air ace in the Army?
He had an air ace dog with him named Goggles, Bob, and I have a rare recording from World War II.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
An actual recording from World War II.
Yeah, Carr 1 and his dog Goggles. Listen to him in action.
Hold on, Goggles. We're cutting them close. Jets, where'd the trees come from? Oh, no, hot air balloon. Roger, we're going for it.
That's a little background on Carr 1. You know, somebody wanted to know about that. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Buddy, heard you talking about the Pope being in Sicily the other day, you know, trying to stop the mafia killings over there.
Yeah, I was in it.
Yeah, you know, the Pope's Polish, and they just recently found a couple of Polish mafia hits up in New York.
Polish mafia?
Yeah, they know it was a Polish mafia. They found these two guys in the trunk of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their heads were tied together, and they were shot in the hands.
Don has a book of his columns coming out, should be out any day now.
And what's it going to be titled? All the things you want to know about bluegrass, but we're too busy picking and grinning to ask.
I don't know. Don wants to come over and pitch a copy of it on your program one morning.
Only if he will give me a personally autographed copy, as did Clyde Wells.
He will probably do that.
What happened to Clyde? He sank into obscurity after that.
No, Clyde is still here. He's still around. Still pushing his book.
Is he pushing his pencil any now?
Little bit.
Been in jail lately? Ain't nothing like that? No. Well, Clyde's living the life of the dog, Bob. Now what?
Hello?
Yeah.
Buddy. Heard this joke here. Yeah, the head of China was addressing the people of China.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I have good news and bad news.
Right.
He said, first, the bad news.
Yeah.
There's only horse droppings left to eat.
That was the bad news, huh?
The good news is there's not enough to go around.
Other than John Hall walked in here.
Well, I tell you, it was a heart-stopping moment.
Yes, it was. It was almost as heart-stopping as the drawing for the $11,000 Camaro.
Almost, but not quite.
I asked John if he had been up all night, and he said no, he was still wiping the sleepy out of his eyes, but, you know, he's our resident drinker here, and he has some bad luck. You know, he said, really?
Yeah, right, sure.
Tell me about John Hall's bad luck.
We were talking about his drinking the other day. It's around, I guess, 4:45, and I said, why don't you call Alcoholics Anonymous, John? So he did, and they answered the phone and told him it was Miller time.
Well, John better hurry up and get his work done, because the boss will be in here in a couple of hours.
Yeah, he will, or less. By the way, John has come up with a new drink, Bob. It's 2 jiggers of 100-proof vodka.
Goodness.
And a teaspoon of tomato juice.
Well, that sounds like a very strong Bloody Mary. Is that?
It's called a blood shortage, Bob.
Blood shortage, okay.
Hello.
Well, you shouldn't have promised if you ain't gonna do it.
Hey.
Buddy.
Yeah.
How's it going?
What's going on there?
I'm on Scooter's case, boy. He's always promising people he'll do things. Promises me and his grandma he'll clean up the yard and this, that, and the other, and he won't do it.
Yeah.
He says, well, promises are like pie crust. They sometimes break.
I've heard that.
Yeah. Promises are like babies.
What?
They're fun to make, but tough to deliver.
I told you earlier that Bob Young will be addressing the M-Bucks today at noon, and Bob, being the professional that he is in journalism and otherwise, is not unprepared. He has...
Mr. Microphone.
Love that, Bob. I love
Just
that.
like the commercial. Hey, good looking. I'll be right back to pick you up in the Lewis family bus.
Don't forget to sing along with Ain't It Funky now, something on that thing, Bob.
I'm not going to take this silly thing with me.
Yeah, you're not going to
have that.
I tell you what, we were talking about that yesterday. Ronco's got a $6 million advertising campaign.
How about that?
And along with Mr. Microphone is the Pocket Fisherman, which I have.
You have the Pocket Fisherman in there?
Yeah, it comes with a little booklet. Well, listen to this, Bob. Tips for fishermen. It says here, using nude photos of Jacques Cousteau as bait will not work on these things. What a relief to learn that. Hello.
Hello,
yeah.
buddy.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad about Marty Robbins dying, wasn't it?
Sure was a shame.
I was listening on the news a while ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was one of my favorites. He raced cars, sang good country songs.
Yeah, he did do that.
They're talking about he was so poor when he was a kid that music was kind of a luxury to him.
Yeah, they said that too.
That's pretty poor, but doesn't come anywhere near being as poor as I was when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
No,
How
I was really poor.
How poor were you?
Well, we were so poor we couldn't afford a watchdog. You know, we lived in a rough area of town.
Yeah.
We were so poor we couldn't afford a watchdog, so at night if we'd hear noise, we'd all sit up in the bed and bark.
Barbara Wawa was the host on it last night.
Oh, she was?
Hugh Downs did a bit on backaches that people have.
Uh-huh.
You know, I don't know.
I don't have a backache, but some of the people around here give me a pain in the neck.
Well, I was expecting Hugh to do something on hemorrhoids because, but Geraldo Revolver finally returned to the show last night.
What was he up to?
He did a special on private citizens and the ownership of automatic weapons, machine guns.
Wait a minute now, what?
Yeah. And also drug smuggling and gun smuggling for drugs in Florida and everything. And
Is that right?
It sounded like this, Bob. Geraldo was firing this machine gun, and Hugh Downs was on the set going,
What are you trying to
But anyway, it was
machine guns. That reminds me of something.
I kept looking for familiar faces.
Yeah.
Familiar faces because what was the name of that Operation Flying Circus? That's it.
That's it.
But I didn't see anything on there. But did have a little trouble at the end of the show because Geraldo, he tripped off the alarm on the at the airport. They found a machine gun concealed in his mustache.
Well, he did.
Yeah, sure did.
Put the whole circus in his mustache.
Hello.
Hello, buddy. How's it going?
Great.
Rainbow Jolly.
Right on. What's that?
Look here. Yeah, I didn't call yesterday. I was up on the gutter hanging the lights out, see?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the Christmas decoration.
Yeah.
I heard you and Bob Young talking about Mr. Microphone.
Yeah, we were talking about...
I got that last Christmas.
Did you?
Yeah, I went over and dug it out the drawer. Yeah, it was hidden in my desk.
Yeah.
I use it, yeah.
Do you?
I take it out to eat with me.
What?
Yeah, sure enough.
You kidding?
Look out right there. Hello, Mr. Microphone. These angels knows it for us, buddy.
What do you do?
Yeah, you can go to the steakhouse with them. Yeah, go out to eat.
Yeah.
One of them steakhouses, they call out your number, they say, 43.
Yeah.
You say, over here. And bring me some crackers and a salad and some roofing dressing on that thing.
That's preaching. Preach them
They
out.
don't know what to think.
I'll bet they don't.
Yeah, you can pick up high steppers with it, too.
High steppers? Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
here come one now. Hey, baby, this is my favorite party gift, Mr. Microphone. How about it, sweetheart? Let me turn this thing around. I'll come back and pick you up.
Who you talking to, old fool? Who you gonna pick up? Give me that microphone. Here, take this.
Wait a minute.
Oh, don't do that anymore.
Hey, wait a minute.
Hey, cut.
Dedication. What's
No.
Don't be beating on my head with that, woman. I'll tell you what. I'll reach in my satchel here. I got Mr. Gun and Mr. Knife also.